Well, spring is well and truly here. It's the end of March now, and it's always around this time of year I like to get all my gear out, have a proper sort out, and have a bit of a spring clean if you like. So one of the most important things I always do is respool my reels. You can't beat fresh line on your spools for the season ahead. I've got a real long campaign ahead of me this year, and a lot of fishing is going to be coming up between now and sort of winter time. So I've always been a mono guy, and one of the main reasons for that is a lot of waters I fish and most waters around the UK ban braided mainline. So I like to, instead of having to chop and change between different spools, different reels between sessions, I like to choose one mono that I truly am confident in, and I know it's never going to let me down whatever situation I put it in. Another few reasons why I like using mono. One, it's a lot more forgiving under the rod tip. So for example, playing a fish, sometimes braid, because there's no stretch in the braid at all, it can sometimes bump fish off if you're using stiffer rods. Two, it casts a lot better in my opinion. And three, it sinks a lot better, meaning the line concealment from the tip of my rod to my lead is always going to be bob on. So these are the three main reasons why I love using mono. It's so versatile, whatever situation you put it in, that's why it's always been the line of choice for me. So I'm really pleased to announce that we've got a new mono in the range. It's a name you guys would have all heard of before. It is the Bullet Mono, but it's now back and it's better than it ever was before. It's a line I've been working on and developing with our supplier over the last sort of 10 to 12 months, and I've also been testing it significantly via me and some of our consultants over the last season, and it truly has never let us down. It really is, in my opinion, the best mono on the market. Firstly, it really does sink like a brick, meaning your line concealment is absolutely second to none, and it's so important in a fishing situation. If you've got fish coming in and out the swim, having your line pinned directly on the deck, meaning they're not going to come into contact with the line, in my opinion, is going to get you extra bites. So secondly, the mono itself is really low stretch, and this is important for two reasons. The first being, when casting out to a spot and feeling that lead down, you're going to get a better signal from the lead back to the rod to let you know what you're fishing over. And secondly, when casting up to islands, snags and overhangs, having a line with a lot less stretch is going to fall a lot truer when hitting the clip, as opposed to a line with a lot more stretch. If you overhit the cast, bouncing the line may put your rig in the tree, for example. So this, in my opinion, makes casting a lot more accurate. So another key element within the line is its abrasion resistance. It truly is incredible, and I've never come across a monofilament quite like it before. So if you think in a fishing situation, your line is running from the tip of your rod all the way to the lead, and this can be running over any sort of bottom, so it can be running over the top of gravel bars and across weed beds, and a lot of people don't actually realise 9 times out of 10 weed beds can actually contain a lot more mussel beds than they think, and it only takes a line to run over the top of one mussel and it can be broken very easily. So this is why abrasion resistance really is key within a monofilament. So during the testing stages of the line, we sent it to some of our consultants who are real big casters, and they truly were blown away with the performance of the ability of the line, of how far it can actually cast. So fishing at range truly is an edge in modern day carp fishing, and using a line with real low diameter and low stretch will definitely put extra yards on your cast, meaning more fish on the bank. So finally, and in my opinion the most importantly, is the strength of the line. It really is incredibly strong, and people like to often use the phrase it is tow rope, and it truly is tow rope. We've actually underrated all of the breaking strains. They will all break slightly higher than they're actually stated, meaning you really can have confidence within your line in terms of strength, and it will also cast an incredibly long way too. So it's available in 2 colour options, a green and a brown, to suit any lake bed you'll be fishing over, and it's available in 10, 12, 15 and 20 pound breaking strains, and it'll be available in a tackle shop near you very soon.